Hello and welcome to the video. I am Trivial Turtle and today I'm going to be talking all about preparing for the Rise of Iron expansion. So I have actually had quite a couple, well, as I just said, a couple. I was about to say quite a few, but I've had a couple of requests to actually make a video like this about going over the kind of like a checklist of what to do in Rise of Iron, or like what to do to prepare for Rise of Iron. And I've actually been doing a little bit of research because honestly I wanted to know the answer too, so I've gone out of my way to have a look to see if I can find any tips that I couldn't think of or that I didn't think of by looking at other YouTubers' content, stuff like that, just to find like quite a coherent list of things that are pretty important to do, or at least if they could be important. I mean, at the end of the day, you can go into Rise of Iron and not do any of the stuff I'm about to tell you, and you can still have fun and have a nice time. But some of the things I would recommend over others. So I'm going to go over a couple of things that I would recommend over others first. First being, make sure that all your characters are 335 light, or at least your main character is 335 light. Because obviously, I imagine the content in Rise of Iron will be about 300 light. Let's just imagine that the story missions are all 300 light, because obviously they don't want to alienate anybody who is below that. So I reckon it'll be 300 light, but being 335 will give you quite a bit of an advantage, and it'll give you a head start on that light game. So the second point I want to cover is finding the vendor sold items which are actually worth buying. So if you go down here, like to the actual vendor people, like this fella here who doesn't actually sell weapons, so I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to go to you, I want to go to you. So this guy is selling some stuffs. Now I would suggest looking this up yourself, because obviously weapons for the most part is personal preference, but obviously you can get a Hawksaw. This is actually quite a decent Hawksaw, but if you haven't got any decent weapons, or at least anything better than vendor weapons, then I would highly suggest going around looking for good vendor weapons while they are still on sale, because as soon as Rise of Iron is released, all of the current weapons are going to be replaced with Rise of Iron ones. So I would highly recommend going around the tower, finding what you want and buying it, saving up your legendary marks, doing all you can so you can buy everything before the Rise of Iron expansion comes out, because you are going to be gutted if, I don't know, the Hawksaw it becomes even more OP than it ever was in Rise of Iron and you couldn't buy it, and you've just got to rely on legendary engrams or crucible packages to actually get that. And that would kind of suck. That would really suck if that was the only way. So I'd highly suggest grabbing it now, along with any other weapons you like the look of in the tower, while you have the chance. Those are two of the most important things I can think of. Now to the things that really don't really matter. The next few things, they don't really matter. You can do all of these, or you can not do all of these. It won't really affect you much, except you'll just be more prepared. The only difference is you will burn through the content quicker than other people will. That could be a pro for you, that could be a con for you. It's completely your preference and your playstyle. I will be trying to do as much of this as I can, but obviously it's not entirely possible to do everything, especially for me, because I haven't actually been playing for long recently, especially with No Man's Sky recently coming out. So let's go downstairs and have a look at the Crucible Quartermaster again. Well, not the Quartermaster, sorry, the actual handler. Have a look. So obviously at the moment I actually haven't got it, but the Nightfall quality bounty from this guy will be pretty important. So I would highly suggest grabbing the Nightfall reward bounty from the Crucible Master and completing it and keeping hold of it, because chances are if you redeem it after Rise of Iron comes out, you'll get some nice juicy Nightfall reward kind of style things from Rise of Iron pool of weapons and armor. That's awesome. I would highly recommend doing this. And that goes with almost everything else, which I'm about to tell you about faction edging. So if you don't know what faction edging is, it's basically, if I go to quests, back at the bottom here, you can see all of my factions. Now, the goal of faction edging is to get all of your factions to a bounty or an engram's worth away from just completely leveling up. So if I wanted to edge my Cryptarch rank, which is here, 119, I would want to probably get it to about 2,950. So I can just hand in a rare engram and level up just like that, and get a reward package, and then get Rise of Iron rewards out of that package just from handing in one rare engram. That is the goal. And then with Vanguard Rep, obviously you want to get it to the top and then just not play anymore. So that's what you kind of do. You want to do this with all your characters. Obviously with Gunsmith again, you just get a test weapon, and I don't know, you'll get it to the edge of that faction rank. So I'm on rank 7, I'd get it to the edge of 8, and then I would probably train a weapon halfway so I can keep hold of it. So then all I have to do, I don't know, is like kill one dreg with the weapon, and then boom, leveled up to 8. Free gun, hopefully. We don't know how the Gunsmith is actually going to work in Rise of Iron yet, but yeah, you get my point. So faction edging is a pretty big one, and you should probably do this on all your characters if you want to stay ahead of everybody. Next point, strange coins. So if you look at my strange coins, I don't actually have that many compared to other people, but I've only just recently got back into the game. I've only got 93. I did actually spend a few on some 3 of coins because I didn't actually have any, unfortunately. But strange coins are really good for buying heavy ammo synthesis. Why do you want heavy ammo synthesis? To level up your factions even more when Rise of Iron comes out, to get even more free stuff. Awesome. So that is also what you want to be doing. Along with that, you kind of want to be stocking up on planetary resources. So my personal goal is 400 of each. That's what I did for the Taken King, and they are still lasting me to this day. I still have loads of planetary materials to this day. I have never run out, especially with all the new ghosts and stuff, I've never run out. But chances are, with all the brand new gear, you will probably run out pretty quickly out of planetary materials. So I would highly suggest spending legendary marks on planetary materials. If you are earning a lot of legendary marks, you're doing a lot of activities all the time, then I would suggest doing that. Because that way you won't run out of planetary materials, and running out of planetary materials from a year 1 player standpoint is a horrible thing. It's not fun, okay? Apart from that, you want to be stocking up on things like Motes of Light, things like exotic shards, weapon parts. Glass needles aren't really relevant. Mouldering shards probably not, because obviously I don't think we'll be using those. You want to be stocking up on 3 of coins, maybe some reputation boosters as well. Things like that, you want to be stocking up on those kind of things, because especially things like exotic shards and Motes of Light, these 2 are pretty good to stock up on, because obviously you can level up all your armor and guns, and exotic shards are good for infusing into actual exotics, which is kind of going to be quite important, considering infusing is going to be exactly the same as it is in this expansion. So the next point I want to quickly cover is things like Iron Banner bounties. Now, I don't have any to show you right now, but the same goes for Trials of Osiris bounties. So if you keep some of the Trials of Osiris bounties and Iron Banner bounties that actually give you loads of legendary marks, like 25 legendary marks and like an armor piece, keep hold of those. You might get them taken away from you. That is actually a possibility, because in the past, Bungie have done things like that. They'll just completely null and void your bounties if they're changing the system in any way. So just keep that in mind. But ideally, you want to be keeping on to those, because it's like you can basically get a full load of legendary marks if you keep hold of enough of them. I am hoping next time Iron Banner is on, I can get all the bounties on all my characters and keep hold of them and not redeem them until Rise of Iron comes out. Same with Trials of Osiris this weekend. I'm going to try and get as many as I can, keep hold of them, not redeem them, the same as that. So hopefully you guys can do that as well, because that is actually quite a huge boost as well. So that's awesome. I would highly recommend doing that if you have the time and the patience. And now to the penultimate point, I would strongly suggest keeping hold of glimmer materials. So things like energies, shards, things you get from raids, like the old raids, like Crota. You can easily solo Crota. Go online, find a video. You can easily solo Crota. Loads and loads of glimmer to be had from that. Just save the shards that you get from the drops. Save them all. And then once Rise of Iron hits, redeem them all from a speaker. Instant glimmer rewards, because right now everyone seems to be quite rich on glimmer. Everyone's got glimmer. I mean, I'm quite low at the moment on 14k, but everyone's pretty much max glimmer at the moment. But the moment we start upgrading loads of stuff in quick succession is a moment where all your glimmer is going to soon dissipate. So I would strongly suggest grabbing some of those materials just to keep on until Rise of Iron comes out. He spelt mighty wrong. He's tried to put Mighty Boosh, but he spelt mighty wrong. It's Migty, and it's supposed to be an H in there. Oh well. Okay, so that is kind of all my points, except my final point, and this is from Dato's video, and it's actually probably the biggest, most important point of this whole video, is take a fucking break. Take a break. Seriously, you do not want to burn yourself out just before Rise of Iron comes out. That's what happened with me with House of Wolves. I burnt myself out before House of Wolves came out and didn't want to play House of Wolves. It happens to everyone. You just want to play other games. Just go play something else. Go play No Man's Sky. Go play, I don't know, Overwatch. There's so many games which are out at the moment. We're living in an amazing year for gaming. So I'd highly suggest just taking a break. Go play something else. Go relax. Maybe not even a shooter. Try not to play shooters. Just try and play like an adventure game, a strategy game. I don't know, a third-person shooter, an RPG, anything, just anything which isn't the same or the same kind of concept as Destiny. And then you will have a lot more fun when it comes around to playing Rise of Iron. So, after this guy has stopped spamming me with invites, I'm going to say goodbye. So if you did enjoy the video, found it helpful at all, please do drop a like below, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, Guardians.